Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the new Madballs figures from Premium DNA. Now this is something I am very stoked about, as I've been waiting for these for quite some time, and it's pretty cool that they're finally here. So before we crack these things open, I want to take a closer look at the packaging. Alright guys, so before I actually crack these things open here, I wanted to take a closer look at the packaging itself. We get some really cool artwork of all the characters in the back, like so. You got that very awesome Madballs logo right there. Just seeing that gets me really hyped. Official Madballs, so these are actual licensed products, and it's just pretty much all through and through. You get that same logo, the Madballs logo, and all those little characters in the back behind there, which looks really nice. Now this is actually just a slip cover, so we can slide this off like so. So let me get that off for you right here, and I'll just put that to the side for right now. But you can see the actual packaging for a figure right here, which looks really cool, man. Just opening these like this and seeing them through the packaging, through this bubble box, or the bubble that we see right here. You can already tell the paint looks incredible. It looks super detailed. This is of course Splitting Headache, which is really nice, and you get really cool images of other characters in this line, which is really nice. Image of the character right there, image of a character on the side. And then you're going to get a rundown, little cross-sell of all the characters like that, the main one of this particular package, and then his accessories right there. It seems like we get a skateboard, a crowbar, and a bone like that. So the packaging itself looks really nice. You got the Premium DNA logo up there, Madballs logo up there. These are looking pretty cool, man. Super hyped for these. I'm just really eager to get my hands on them, see how they feel, see how they function, you know, all the cool things. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open and let them breathe. Alright, let's take a closer look at these new Madballs figures from Premium DNA. And what is happening here? What year is this? We're getting new Madball figures in 2021? That's super cool to me, man. So, in full disclosure, these were sent to me for review samples by the folks over at Premium DNA, so a big shout out to them. But I think like a lot of you, we were very curious as how these were going to turn out. So luckily, I'm going to show you guys here because these look incredible. The colors, the sculpts, all look amazing. So first off, I'm going to start off with Splitting Headache over here. This guy looks mind-blowingly cool. Now, one thing I will note that you guys will not be able to tell in the video, once I started pulling these guys out of the package, man, these are hefty toys. They do not feel lightweight. They do not feel cheap. They are very heavy in the hand, and you will feel it as soon as you rip them out of the package. They feel like high-end quality toys. Nothing really feels hollow. I think the only thing that's going to be really hollow here is probably the mid-torso and little sections. So that's probably about it, but the head itself is completely solid. All the limbs are completely solid. So that's just the first thing I noticed right out of the boxes. These are big chunky figures, man, and I love that. But the sculpt here looks incredible. I mean, it's, again, just seeing Madballs in modern day is just wild to me. The paint apps are gorgeous. I love things like the stitching that we're getting in here, all the goop and boils, and you can see bones sticking out. I mean, the different, like, whatever this blue muck is coming out of him, as well as like blood. You got painted toenails and fingernails. I've always liked, he's like half skeleton. His skeleton is being, like, I guess melted off with acid or something. I don't really know. But I love the texture of the bone. Looks really, really good. You can even see how Has all the little indents, and the paint has a nice dry brush over that, looking really cool. You got like some type of green mocos coming out, some boogers coming out of his ribs and things like that, looking awesome all the way down to the leg, all the way through the back. I mean, all the stitching work and the colors just look incredible, man. So, I mean, I can tell, and that's one cool thing that I love about a lot of old school toys. The sculpts were always very detailed. You know, a lot of those things were gruesome. We loved ugly, gross toys back then. Things like Mad Balls and Ninja Turtles and Toxic Crusaders. Very detailed sculpts. And I think Premium DNA really captured that with these modern figures. So one thing that's super cool about these figures, we actually do get accessories here. So you got things like interchangeable hands, so you got closed-fisted hands, gripping hands, you got things like open palm hands, again, all fully painted, all looking really cool. But with splitting headache here, we do get a few unique accessories and things like this really awesome bone weapon here. And this is one thing I want to emphasize here. Even the accessories are beautifully detailed, beautifully sculpted. I mean, they look incredible here. The bone looks really nice. I love how it's like a flat paint. And then you got like the blood and the bug here. That's a more of a polished paint, which looks really cool. You even got the little metal plates and things like that, like done in a nice silver, all looking fantastic. He also comes with a really nice crowbar here, which looks really good. They got the brain coming over to that and blood dripping down, a little eyeball on there. I think it's super cool. Then he also comes with a skateboard, which is really rad. You got a little screw coming out of there. You can see it's in pieces. I don't know if that's poop. I don't really know. It's being held together by like a little metal plate. But even the little band-aid right here that's holding it together is two different colors. The wheels look really nice. They do not spin. That is one thing I noticed. And I'm not even sure how they're connected, but they're kind of just resting there. So it's like one solid sculpt. You know, if you have him on the shelf, you could probably just stand him on there like that. But that's still really cool. I love stuff like this. And then again, they do have gripping hands. Sometimes it can be a little tough to get the accessories in the hands because they can be a little stiff at first. Nothing terrible. I haven't had too much trouble. I mean, but once you get things in there, they hold pretty well, and it's always fun looking at an eyeball like that on a crowbar with a brain wrap around it. That's lovely. So all the accessories are really cool, man. I really dig that a lot. Next up, I'm going to take a look at Bruise Brother. What you gonna do, brother? I love the way this turned out, man. First of all, his beard is rocking. They have a nice dry brush in there to give it some texture. It looks so good. The scarring across his face looks gnarly. He's got a bruised eye there, rocking an eye patch. I mean, the intricate details of the little clothespin or safety pin right there, the sharp teeth. The helmet looks odd. Dude's got bullet holes up in there. It is all scratched up. You got little spikes. The little gold right here on the little divot right there on the little like screw looks awesome. There's a little bit of silver dry brush on there too. You got a pipe that's sticking out like there. It looks like the rear view mirror of a motorcycle. You got the skull and crossbones. Dude is rocking tattoos. Nice cuts and scars all over his body being stitched together. It is just insane, man. One thing I will notice too about things like this, like the cuts and the scars, they look pretty deep inside those bodies, so they feel like they're really dug in there, so that's pretty gnarly. You got an awesome little bandolier with some bullets on there, a rope holding his pants up, which is really nice. But I mean, it just looks crazy, dude. The pink nails, the pants themselves are all torn up, and again, nice paintwork on the pants, even on the boots. He's got boogers or toe jam coming out of his toenails right there. I mean, the boots look really good. The back of it looks awesome. You got a butt cheek hanging out back there. I mean, this thing is insane, dude. He's even got a metal plate holding his body together. That is gnarly. So one thing you can see right here, we do have a sheath back here. That is for one of his accessories, which is a nice little Bowie knife, or a little Rambo type knife with a little skull head on top of that. You can actually just stick that back there, and that's going to be freaking awesome, man. This looks so, so good. Just like the other characters, we do get a ton of accessories: interchangeable hands, gripping hands, open palm hands, closed-fisted hands, all painted, all looking beautiful. You even got a little tape on the nails. I think that looks really cool. But he also comes with a baseball bat, just looking gnarly. And what's really cool, again, the paint. Nothing is left unpainted with anything here, and I really appreciate that. The bat, like somebody took a bite out of it, the wood grain, the nails and screws, a little bug there, a little nail screw coming out of the handle right there. You got teeth, so he maybe knocked some dude's teeth out, I don't know, and they got stuck in the bat, but it is really cool seeing this stuff. One of the most interesting ones, he comes with a beehive on a stick, because why the heck not? That looks crazy, dude. You got the honey dripping out. Again, every bee is painted. So, I mean, that just looks really cool. The sculpt is just awesome, man. I love the way this turned in. And I was trying to see if it splits, but it doesn't actually split. I was kind of thinking it was, but it doesn't. But still looks very, very cool. And then probably my favorite accessory for him in particular, he gets a freaking boxing glove. Again, the tie is painted, the stitching on this is painted. You got little teeth sticking out of the glove, and you got slime all over it. These are just on simple pegs right here, so you could take that off like that. That's how you interchange your hands, and you can pop that on there. So that is definitely how I'm going to display him with that glove, because that looks totally awesome. Next up, we're going to take a look at Oculus Orbis here, which was a big fan favorite amongst myself and a lot of you out there, I'm sure. But he was initially just a giant eyeball. So how cool is that? He's gross, gnarly, and I loved every bit of it, man. The veins around the head are just insane, and they're all sculpted in there. They're not just painted on or tampered on, fully sculpted, which looks really great. The iris there looks really nice too. Even got a nice little dry brushing on there to really make those the eyes really pop out like that. So I love that. And the nice polished black in the center looks really good. You've got painted white on there to give it a little bit of an unnatural highlight, which helps a lot. So that's really cool. And then the body, man, the body looks good, showing all the musculature, things like the fat, the blue veins everywhere. You got a nice dark wash in there, looking really cool. The feet, the hands, all looking fantastic. I love the way this particular guy turned out. He looks great on a shelf, man. Got a little spinal column going down here. This just looks super rad to me. I love this a lot. So just like the other figures here, we got a ton of interchangeable hands. He's got things like finger pointed hands, of course open palm hands and closed fisted hands, as well as more like gripping hands, all fully painted and looking awesome as well. What I like about him specifically, all his accessories are very eye related. So I mean, look at this. This looks great, dude. You got a little screw coming out. The handle has boogers again. The glass is actually a little cracked. You got bugs on it. Same thing on this side. You got one on there, two on this side. Again, the paint is so beautiful on everything that we get here. That's super cool. You this is awesome too, a little spyglass or whatever you call it. Again, fully painted, got a little bug on there. You got an eyeball coming through like so. I think it looks great. The screws on there. I mean, I love this kind of stuff, man. But he also gets binoculars, which is pretty funny since he only has one eye. So, I mean, these technically do the same thing, right? This is, I mean, why would he need one with two eyes? He has just one eye. So, I don't know. Who cares? It's still really cool. But the sculpt, man, and the paint is so premium. It just looks really, really good. And I love this. They don't move. They're just solid pieces, but they look awesome, man. I love this kind of stuff. And I'm sure you can fit them in like one of the more wider open gripping hands, like so. We kind of fit it on there. There we go, like that. So those hold on there actually pretty well. So that actually works out really nice. So I love that, dude. His accessories are a lot of fun. Next up, we're going to take a look at my boy Hornhead here. Now, this was my favorite Madball as a kid. I loved Hornhead. He was such a crazy looking Cyclops monster or whatever it was, but I loved him, man. Now, I don't have a vintage Hornhead, which I probably should at this point, but I do have one of those more semi-modern ones from Kid Robot, I think it was, that made more updated Madballs. So there's a little bit of a size comparison for you guys. You can see how the little more Kid Robot ones were compared to these new ones from Premium DNA, but still very cool seeing those side by sides. And the Premium DNA ones is a little bit bigger than these, so those pretty cool. But everything else about this guy looks amazing. The sculpt is so good. The teeth, the septum piercing right there, the eye itself with the little veins, all looking awesome. His scarring, and his hair. I mean, I don't know if they freaking lobotomized this dude or what, but he got jacked up, man. The horn on top looking really good. The fur looks great. A really nice dry brushing on the fur. Again, what I really like is how deep they show all these cuts and scarring are on these guys. It's very, very deep. It doesn't feel just like a slight flesh wound there. I mean, they're in there, man. You got blood dripping down, and the stitching all looks really good. That's the same thing on the feet, looking really nice. They cut his butt, dude. Not cool. He's got furry little butt cheeks. I think that's hilarious. So I love this. This is my boy, dude. Always love Hornhead. And just like the rest, we do get a ton of accessories as well. You got lots of gripping hands with really nice claws, slightly more open palm hands that can double as gripping hands. So for him, we got this like turkey leg, which looks awesome. Again, man, the sculpting and the paintwork look really good on everything here. You got bugs and worms all over it. I mean, that just looks super cool to me, how detailed all the accessories are. So I love that. He also gets this awesome club right here, nice spiked club. You got some teeth on there, some nails, but you got a skull on there, which looks really cool too. So I love the way that looks. I mean, the paint on that is incredible. They did not hold back with the paint apps whatsoever. And I love how the skull has one of the spikes on here coming out through the top, like the unicorn on Hornhead himself. So that's pretty cool and pretty clever. So I love that a lot. We also do get the spiked ball and mace with an actual metal chain. Love that so much. The sculpting of that looks really cool too, and you can actually see it is a version of Hornhead as the actual ball. So that is amazing, man. That looks so good. The handle has a nice wrap around it, little metal plates. Again, they do not skimp on the paint whatsoever. I genuinely appreciate that. I mean, just having all of this, just again, premium DNA, doing some premium paint apps and premium sculpts. I'm all about that, man. Give me a whole lot more. And lastly, we have the exclusive version of Hornhead here, which is decoed to be My Pet Monster. I mean, that's pretty awesome, dude. First of all, taking two of my favorite things as a child, like Mad Balls and My Pet Monster, and just mashing them together and making a really cool toy, I'm all about that. This is the one that I was most excited about because it's my boy Hornhead done as a My Pet Monster, and I love it. The colors look great. You got that blue with a more darker blue for the belly right there. The teeth and the tongue look great. Got that, of course, that turquoise nose, the pink around the eyes and things like that. And then you got the purple like beard around here going around his face. Looking so, so good. I love this so much. You got this green paw, or his gray paws, excuse me. But I really love the metallic blue that we're getting on the claws for the hands and the feet. I think those look awesome. Those really pop out to me as something special. But again, the same sculpt that we got with the standard Hornhead, just done different deco. So I'll bring him in here real quick and we can see how that looks dramatically different just with those colors alone. So this exclusive version done as a My Pet Monster, I had to have, man. This is the one that I wanted the most, and he just looks so good. I'm super happy with this. And of course, we do get a ton of accessories here. Again, you got interchangeable hands, open-fisted hands, or excuse me, closed-fisted hands, open palm hands, gripping hands, all that kind of stuff. You get like finger-pointing hands with him. Again, look at those claws, dude. Look how metallic those claws look. They look so good. I love that. It is noted that he does get the same accessories as the standard Hornhead. They're just going to be redecoed. So here is the turkey leg from the standard one. And here's the turkey leg from the exclusive one. It's a big orange turkey leg. That's insane, dude. Exact same sculpts, just done in different colors. Very vibrant, very gnarly. So that's really, really cool. Same thing with those big clubs right here. Again, standard release, and then in the exclusive version, bright orange, got the green goop slime coming all over, blue nails all over it. So really cool stuff, man. I love the colors. Those look great. And then, of course, you get the ball and chain, the spike maze like that. Standard release, and then the exclusive version, bright orange. You got the ball as the head right there, looking so good with the actual metal chain as well. I love this, man. Again, just the addition of those colors, because they chose these colors, I believe, because he wore the the orange handcuffs or bracers or whatever you want to call it. So they made his accessories those colors. So I love this, man. This just looks so freaking awesome. I could not be happier about owning this. I love it. He just looks so cool. Okay, so now I'm going to show off the articulation using Oculus here. So I just want to run it all down so you can see what we're getting here. So the head's on a ball joint, kind of rolls around a little bit. You're mostly going to get left and right. Can go up and down a tiny bit and wobble side to side a little bit, but again, mostly left and right. Arms can go full 360 up and out that far. We get rotation at the elbow as well as a bend at the elbow just under 90. We got rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist, so that works really good too. You get a double ball peg in the midsection. That kind of rolls around a little bit. You're mostly going to get left and right. Crunches back and forth a little. Side to side, not a whole lot, if anything. The hips can kick forward that far. Back all that far, like so. Can't kick out to the side into the splits that much. We get rotation at the knee. We also do get a bend at the knee. That bend pretty far, so that's actually pretty good. We got a forward-facing pin that goes up for the ankles and down like so. If I can get this a little tight, so you can point his toe about that much. And then a really sweet ankle rocker. So the articulation works pretty good. You know, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to get anything too dynamic. I don't think you really want to with these guys. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I just didn't expect it. I do wish the midsection had a little more movement, but it's nothing terrible for what you want to get out of these guys. I think it all works out very nicely. One thing I will say, that the hips on all of them feel a tiny bit loose, and I mean a tiny bit. I have by no means had trouble with them standing at all. They all stand very well, but I noticed they're a little bit loose, so over time that might be a big issue. But as for right now, they work pretty good, and they're not really hindering me whatsoever, but I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. So another thing with these figures, we do have a modular system, which means you can mix and match parts amongst all of these figures. So anywhere there's a cut or a joint, you can actually pull them apart. And you can see what I did here. I just dismantled this figure completely. At everywhere there's a joint, it can be pulled apart. So what's really cool is you can take all of these figures, mix them and match them with parts. And you know, this is a very basic build that I put together with just some parts that I just threw on just for this video here. But you can get more creative and interchange every little detail about the figure and make your own crazy madball monster however you see fit. Or what's also really cool, if you want to just go straight up old school madballs and you don't want the bodies, you can display them with just the heads like that on your shelf and they'll just look like awesome madballs. I think that's super cool. So this guy, this whole set is pretty amazing. I have been very impressed with what we do get here. All of these look incredible. I've just been having so much fun playing with these really cool looking toys. So for a quick size comparison, here are a couple of figures standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and NECA Batman figure. Also for comparison, here they are standing next to a vintage Worm figure from the classic TMNT line and a Masters of the Universe Origins He-Man figure. And just for fun, here is Hornhead with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of Wave 1 of Madballs from Premium DNA. Now overall, I think these are really cool and impressive figures. Once you get them in hand, you will definitely feel how hefty they are, and they really feel like a good quality action figure. The sculpt and the paint apps are so gorgeous, so detailed. I mean, nothing is left unpainted, and I love that. The modular system between these figures, well, I should say the madular system between these figures, works pretty good. It does loosen up some of the joints a little bit, but it's not terrible. And honestly, for me, nothing really to complain about, but it can be there, and I can see that being an issue in the future, but honestly, it's not that bad. The articulation works very well. I love all the accessories that we get with the figures and interchangeable hands. Again, the paint apps on those weapons and accessories are so well done. I think these are great figures and really excite me for a wave 2 because there's still a ton of characters that they can do. So if you can find these in the aftermarket, or if you pre-ordered, get ready for some really fun toys, because for me, that's exactly what these are. Just fun, awesome toys, and I think they're great, and they will fit in awesome in any of your collections. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.